Lord of the Rings Online has many fun, interesting, and lovely quests. My very favorite, though, is this one, which is part of the Bingo Boffin quest line. And it's called Enter the Easterlings. It takes place in the Great River region near the outpost of Stangard. So we have here my character, Indrasa. He is a red line champion. I'm not going to go into his spec or anything like that. That's not what this video is about. This is just about this wonderful quest. And he's standing outside of the town of Stangard. It's really an outpost of Rohan in the Great River region. And he's been traveling with this fellow, Bingo Boffin. Bingo is well, he's trying to be an adventurer. He's from the Shire, and he's been traveling all over, through Moria, through Lothlórien, and now we're here in the Great River. So let's just get started, and I'll keep the commentary to a minimum, but I am going to be reading a lot of quest text to you. I hope you can hear both me and the game sounds well. I'm using a very crude way of recording this video. I hope it works out.
We should help the men of Stangard defend their outpost.
So here's the quest name, Enter the Easterlings, and as I said, it's part of the Bingo Boffin quest line, which is an alternate, or rather a parallel, epic quest line that goes along with the regular epic quests. Of course, I think we should help the men of Stangard defend their outpost. We will help them survive the surprise attack, and you can count on me to document the excitement for my account. Oh, I usually don't make the text larger, but I will for this video. So let's. This is a small quest instance. Let's do that now.
The Rohan outpost of Stangard is endangered by a small party of Easterling raiders. Can the outpost be defended?
So just before we started this instance, we were adventuring with a Bingo here, his companion, Willem Whisker, the Lynx, and also Langhar. Langhar is a Bjorning woman, and you may recognize her if you started a Bjorning character. She's one of the first characters you meet when you start a new Bjorning character. And here she is now in the Great River region. Sobert is a guard, and we're going to talk to him now. We may not have much time before the Eastern raiding party attacks Stangard. We must make the most of the time we have available if we are to be prepared. The men of Rohan are familiar with making preparations for war. There are barrels of weapons atop the hill. We will carry them down here. Then we will gather up fallen weapons wherever they may be. Some of the men here have let their combat skills suffer. They could use some training. We will need buckets of water brought to the watchtowers in case the Easterlings wield fire. We can carry those from up the hill. Finally, we will need to clean up dirty dishes left from the noontime meal. So, for many players of Lord of the Rings Online, or I assume many other such games, you often get these kinds of menial, trivial tasks to complete before something exciting happens. And so most players at this point, I think, are rolling their eyes thinking, oh my, they're going to have us do all these step and fetch it quests. Let's see what happens. We'll talk to Bingo. Finally, a task for which I am well suited, Indrasa. I will take care of the dirty dishes, and you can handle some of the tasks that require heavy lifting. I will find you when I have finished. And now we're told to talk to Langhar and learn what tasks she will handle. So there goes Bingo off to deal with the dishes. Dishes beware, I will clean you up in no time, he says. We'll talk to Langhar now.
The vales are under our protection.
I am not doing any of those things, Indrasa. And now we're told to convince Langhar to help with some of the tasks. What was that noise? Did you hear that? I hear the sound of fighting. Ooh, a great eagle. If you play through this quest line, you've seen this great eagle before, a few quests back. This is the great eagle Landroval. I have subdued these warriors, but more approach. Prepare yourself. Langhart turned into a bear, and Sabert wants our attention. What a creature, Umdrasa! I have never seen anything that might hope to compare. To think that such a majestic creature could come to the aid of my people, it defies expectation. And this woman, this Bjorning, she too fights for Rohan? We will stand together, Umdrasa, and cast back our foes. From this point forward, we stand as friends and allies. And we're told to defend Sabert during the Easterling attack on Stangard. More Easterlings approach. Stand against them. I'm a little low level for this, but it's okay, because this is normal mode. I normally play this character at a high level of difficulty, but whenever you're in an instance that gets started as part of a quest, you go back to normal difficulty involuntarily. You don't have a choice. Langhart says, I'm going to search for foes elsewhere in town. Oh, I never thought to see strength in one like her, says Sabert. Champions are just ridiculous. Look at that. Let's see if there are more Easterlings in Stangard and Umdrasa. Look at that, 3-4 levels higher than me, and like it was just one skill use each. Boom, boom, boom. I circled this town from above, says Landroval, and saw no more foes nearby. Sabert says, then we are safe. We have repelled the attack. All of you have my thanks. Here comes Bingo and Willem. Oh, you are most welcome, Sabert, says Bingo. All the dishes are perfectly clean. Oh, hello, Landroval. When did you arrive? Let's see what Sabert has to say first. That Bjorning woman really is something, isn't she? Did you see the way she fought? Such strength and ferocity. I must admit that she put even my own skills to shame. Now we'll talk to Bingo. What's that? The battle has happened already? I thought I heard something over the splashing of the suds, but I told myself it was simply my imagination. At least the dishes are clean. Still, it would have been exciting to see Landroval and Langhart in action. I did not mean to discount your own contribution, Umdrasa. I know you are quite impressive in battle yourself. So now we can talk to either Bingo or Sabert to end this little instance. You can only talk to one of them. I'm going to talk to Sabert. I cannot stop thinking about that Bjorning woman. She cut a most impressive swath through the Easterling invaders, did she not? Such strength and ferocity. Bingo has fun things to say there as well, but you can only speak to one before the instance ends. Let's see what Bingo has to say first.
We did it!
We did it! Yes, we did, Bingo. You cleaned up all those dishes. Good job.
The Easterling force has been defeated.
The Easterling force has been defeated, and the Kundalar and the Brownlands wait for word of victory that will never come. I am glad that Stangard still stands, but even more than that, I am glad that the men here have been put in their place. They will no longer sneer at the line of Bjorn. Do not spread this around, but it seems to me that perhaps Sabert has replaced his feelings of disgust with some other feelings entirely. I do not know which I find more irritating than Umdrasa, but I think I liked it better when he feared my people and was not intent on impressing me. I thank you for your help, Umdrasa, and I bid you and Bingo good fortune on your journey. I will return to Grimbeern in the Vales of Anduin with news of the Easterling presence in the Brownlands. I may have more work to do on that score. I look forward to it. And we're told to talk to Bingo within Stangard, who is right here. We're just going to see if Langhart has something else to say.
I bid you and Bingo good fortune on your journey.
Okay. And Bingo
Stangard is safe.
We did it. Stangard is safe.
We also taught the men here a valuable lesson.
I think we also taught the men here a valuable lesson about respect. Perhaps the next time well-meaning strangers come to them with warnings, they will sit up and take notice, or at the least remain polite. And we get some Bingo badges, which are tokens you can use to buy various fun cosmetic items. There's also a little gear, but the cosmetic items are unique, and you should save it for that. And some legendary item experience, so that's nice.
Oh, we are off the edge of old Bilbo's map now,
I
for
do not
certain.
really know where we should go next, Imdrasa. We are off the edge of old Bilbo's map now, and our steps have taken us into unknown territory. We could travel into the kingdom of Rohan proper, I suppose, but, well, maybe there is another course we should take. They love their horses, you see, and look around at how many of the equine figures have been carved on the buildings here in Stangard, and this is a mere outpost and beyond the bounds of the kingdom. For my part, I have never really liked horses very much. They are so large and frightening, always stamping around with their heavy hooves and snapping at unwary hobbits with their strong teeth. I was almost bitten by a horse when I was in my tweens, and I've never managed to forgive the things. Do you think you could nip down to the eastern gate of Stangard and ask Sabin if we might enjoy a walking tour of the kingdom of Rohan? It is not a very large place, is it? If our feet will do just fine, then I say that's what we should do, and leave the horses quite out of it. And we're told to talk to Sabin at the east gate of Stangard. But that is the end of that quest. So I just thought I'd just sum up what's going on. Before all this, Bingo and Langhar and the player get to adventure around a little bit. When they first arrive at Stangard, Bingo and Langhar aren't exactly welcome. They move around in the surrounding countryside. They meet Landroval. They find out about this imminent Easterling invasion, and that little instance we just played kind of wraps it up, where we repel the Easterling invaders. But the reason this instance is one of my favorites is because of what happens very early on in that little instance. That's part of the quest, where you're told about all these various tasks that have to be done. Bingo runs off to do one. Langhar refuses, and then, of course, you as the player are thinking, oh, I'm going to have to do all this nonsense first, as you often do in Lord of the Rings Online and probably many other games. But instead, you go right into some action and resolve the situation. So it's really amusing. It's quite fun. And there's also quite a lot of interesting dialogue. And there's actually more interactions between Langhar and Sabin in that what I think of as the blue dialogue.
I have never really liked horses very much.
And there's usually a lot of additional text like that you can read, or some interesting other dialogue, or even voiceovers that you can get from the voice actors, which is quite interesting. So don't skip those. What you might think of as the blue ring text is often very interesting. So that's the end of that. That was the quest Enter the Easterlings, which is part of the Bingo Boffin quest line. And by the way, if you tend to skip the Bingo Boffin quest line because it might seem a little slow to you or it doesn't seem terribly interesting, I strongly recommend you do it. Bingo is really a very interesting fellow. He changes quite a lot during his journey. He's very, very clever. He's very good with things like secret messages and figuring out puzzles. Very good companion, by the way. But also, if you're just for your purposes as a player, there are so many fun pets and mounts and housing cosmetic items and other sorts of things that you can get by doing the bingo quests. And it really ends in an extremely satisfying way once your character is about level 95 and either just before or just after the Helm's Deep battle sequences. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. This my very favorite of all the quests in Lord of the Rings Online.